Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Johnny. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Johnny.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covers, three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now, Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
Number 4, Armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's King of Sports Day. So joining me, as ever, Big Boy Mikey. Happy New Year, Big Boy.
Happy New Year, buddy. It's good to be back for 2019. We're only not even a full day into the new year, and we couldn't wait any longer, mate.
Yeah, and it's already been a huge day. Let's touch on it. All Elite Wrestling is official.
Yeah, which, we're going straight into the, we're basically hitting this show tonight so we can preview Kingdom, but All Elite does throw some interesting points into Friday night, so...
Yeah, well, according to Dave Meltzer, they are looking to have a working relationship with New Japan. So,
yeah.
I mean, whether Cody still wins, whether Kenny wins, there's a lot of things up in the air, and we'll talk about it as we get to the matches. But you mentioned it. We're here to talk about Wrestle Kingdom. Now, King of Sports also includes CMLL. King of Sports also includes RevPro. King of Sports also includes Ring of Honor, all of whom have had shows. But we're probably not going to talk about those since, we've had a break. And, I've still been keeping up with watching. A lot of Ring of Honor, especially, has just been clip shows and stuff. But has anything major of note happened that you've seen? Generally, over Christmas, it's pretty quiet.
In Mexico, actually, mate, with CMLL, Mexico doesn't stop for no one, mate. They were doing shows Christmas Day, the next day, and they just go ham. So, but the biggest piece of news over the last 2 weeks, last Friday night, the Super Friday show, CMLL, we did post about it on the B Plus Facebook, but CMLL pulled a casual 18,000 person crowd at Arena Mexico, basically off the promotion of Caristico versus Penta or Pentagon Jr., however you want to call him, Penta El Zero Meta or whatever you want to call him.
Right, so 18,000 fans.
Yeah, 18,000
came out to see this.
I mean, like we're talking about All Elite and how cool 10,000 people it was for All In, and obviously that's amazing. But Mexico, and it ended up being a shit match. They just casually pulled in 18,000 because they promoted a single one-on-one match properly, and it's like it's crazy to think that CMLL could do this on a regular if they really put some great marketing behind a couple of one-on-one matches throughout 2019. Obviously, the big ones, whether Major League Wrestling take it from them, I don't think they will, because I don't think CMLL will be that stupid. But the Rush versus LA Park storyline is going to be huge this year. I imagine LA Park loses his mask, and that'll be a huge moment. I can imagine CMLL getting 30, 40, 50,000 Arena Mexico, hands down. Easy for that. So, 18,000 just for for a Super Friday show is amazing. So it was a shit match, unfortunately. It was lazy, even for someone that's...
That sounds weird to me. Pentagon doesn't really have bad matches.
I think I said it to you today. I shouldn't have said it on the podcast either. Shit is the wrong term. It just looked like they were tired and they just didn't want to put the effort in. I mean, someone like Penta has wrestled probably 1,000 matches in 2018 across every promotion in the fucking world, like whether it's MLW, PWG, CMLL, AAA, everything, man. Like, he's across the board. Impact, my lord, sorry. So he's wrestled nearly 1,000 matches, and he got to the end of that year, and you could just tell he just didn't put the full effort in. You're like, it's not because he's not talented, it's just you could tell he was
just phoning it in.
Just phoning it in, and it's just like, whether they realized that they had 18,000 people, you know, like,
yeah.
But yeah,
which is that's not when you want to be phoning it in.
No. But look, you know, yeah, CMLL's been going ham over the last couple of weeks. Most matches are pretty much similar to what I'm saying about Penta. They all just look so tired, and I don't know, you're taking wrestlers and away from their families at this time of year. You know, even WWE don't do that this year, so.
Yeah, WWE actually even taped their Christmas ones and whatnot this year, so they got to have a bit of a break. But there's the crazy guys down in Mexico just kept going, I guess.
Yeah, there's no stopping them. But yeah, no, other than that, I mean, across the ditch over in the old country, Rev Pro, been quiet the last week or so, but coming into the new year, they've got a big January.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff coming up in January. It's going to be very interesting. But what we want to talk about today, what we want to focus on today is Wrestle Kingdom. We're just going to go match by match, go down the card and talk about what is happening at Wrestle Kingdom. It's the big one. You want to talk about not resting. Japan has been crazy over the last week. Like, I've got some friends that are over there too, and there's 2-3 shows a day in this week leading up to Wrestle Kingdom, which is crazy because it's like they're literally counting down the New Year's countdown from the ring, you know?
Yeah.
it's insane. Japan don't stop either. It's been a lot of wrestling, but we want to look specifically, the Purocast, that's the other guys. We want to look at New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom 13. We are just days away. It happens on Friday. Let's start with the pre-show. No New Japan Rumble.
No New Japan Rumble, and a lot of people left out of the card after this match was announced. So this is a gauntlet match to determine the number one contendership to the Never Openweight 6-Man Tag Team Championship, which is held by the BCOGs. They will be defending that at New Year's Dash the night after. New Year's Dash is a card, kind of like a hidden sort of card that you don't know about until the night. They announce the matches on the day or just before. Usually a lot of multi-man matches, sort of like a Raw after Mania kind of thing. But so the Never Openweight 6-Man tag titles will be defended on New Year's Dash. So these are the teams. A couple of interesting team-ups. You got a team of Makabe, Yano, and Razuki Taguchi, which is crazy because Makabe, Yano haven't tagged for nearly 10 years since the birth of Chaos and since the end of the original version of Great Bash Hill, and they're tagging with Taguchi. So it's like a member of Great Bash Hill, a member of the New Japan main unit, and a member of Chaos, all as one little team, which is just confused by that.
Right, which is weird. Like, this is the thing with this team is I like it when you've got the guys that are in the faction together, in a team together. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because they all train together. They're in that faction. But this is a cross-faction thing, and it has me scratching my head a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it seems the next tag team I'm going to talk about, the next team...
I mean, it's a good way to get some of the New Japan dads out there, but, you know...
Right.
I mean, the Rumble was a really good way. I don't know if I'm a fan of this gauntlet match, to be honest with you.
No, I'm not either. I would much prefer the Rumble.
Yeah. But let's have a look at the other teams quickly.
Yeah. So like I said, you got Makabe, Yano, Taguchi. The next team is Nagata, Cobb, and Finlay. Now, Nagata is replacing Elgin, who is injured. So Nagata gets back onto the Wrestle Kingdom card, which is cool. Another random mix of names there for a team. Then you got the official Chaos team, which is Best Friends, Beretta, and Chucky with Hiroki Goto.
It's a team that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, weirdly enough, Yano, who is part of Chaos, is not going to be in the Chaos team. And it's absolutely insane that Goto's on the pre-show when he had one of the matches of the show last year. But anyway.
Well, look, you know who else is on the pre-show? Minoru Suzuki.
Exactly.
Like, that's how stacked this card is. We're about to go through 10 matches or so, and the amount of incredible goodness that we are getting on this card means that, I mean, Suzuki and Goto are on the pre-show. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like you said,
Hangman Page too, and Marty Scurll. Like let's not.
Yeah,
they're on the pre-show too. Like, what's going on?
exactly. So yeah, so you did highlight there Suzuki. So Suzuki Gun is represented by Minoru Suzuki, which blows my mind that he's on the pre-show. Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith. And then the Elite is represented by Hangman Page, Yujiro Takahashi, and Marty Scurll. So, there is, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 names there. But unfortunately, before we start running down the rest of the card, this is missing Tenzin, this is missing Kojima, this is missing Tiger Mask, and for the first time in 25 years, I think it's 25, that freaking Jushin Thunder Liger is not on the freaking card. So, crazy. No Farley. Unfortunately, no Robbie Eagles, which sucks. But there's a host of names that are missed out on this card. None of the young lions got in to go in the Rumble. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I don't know why they've made this choice.
Yeah,
but for me, I really think that and I'm a fan of a good 6-man team. King of Trios, Chikara staple.
Yeah.
And I watch it every year, right? It's very exciting to me. I love watching 3-man matches when they're done well. Sorry, 6-man matches, 3-man tags, whatever you want to call it. I like watching those when they're done well and when it makes sense. But I don't know. I feel like this gauntlet match. I mean, the Rumble match is the definition of a throwaway. It's there to just get people on the card.
Yeah.
But this feels more like that, even though the Rumble is the same thing and it gets more people on the card. The Rumble felt like a tradition. It felt like a staple. This feels. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but who do we think walks out the number one contenders to the Never Openweight titles?
I'm going to have to go with Suzuki Gun. I mean, they're the only, other than maybe Chaos with Goto, Barretto, and Chucky, Suzuki Gun are the only real full team there that, I'm going to have to go with Suzuki Gun. They're the only real sort of full unit there that's got real tag team like history. Like they've tagged together so many times, so.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you. I think Suzuki Gun as well. Because, I mean, I think Chaos would be a good choice, but I feel like Chucky T is going to chuck a Nana and do his whole bit that he's doing.
Yeah, very likely. But, for me, I think, I don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. Don't know that one person in Japan who listens to our cast gets offended by this.
I maintain that our one Japanese listener is working in the office. Hi, New Japan. We know you're listening. I look at the statistics.
Hi, Chris Charlton. No. I wish.
Chris Charlton, if it's you, reach out to me on Twitter at Greg Unchained. I would love to have you on the show.
Yeah. But for me, I think what happened, like this is just me speculating. They maybe forget that the 6-man titles are on Bullet Club about 2 weeks ago. I went, oh shit, we can't actually change these belts over before Kingdom, so we're gonna have to do a gauntlet match and then defend it.
I don't think they've forgotten. I actually think that Bullet Club is gonna walk out of Kingdom quite strapped up. I don't know. Let's go further down the card. So next up, it looks like we're getting Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay as the opener.
Oh yeah, like
again. How stacked this card is that Kota Ibushi is the opener against Will Ospreay. So this is for the Never Openweight title. This one is going to be insane.
Oh, mate, you can just watch this match, go home, and you can say that you watch Wrestle Kingdom because that's one of the matches of the night. Opening, like holy shit.
Oh yeah, this has to be minimum 4 stars if you like to speak that language.
Oh, minimum. This probably breaks scales. I definitely feel that Will's walking out of this as a winner. Wills has constantly talked about this Never Openweight title, how much it means to him, because he doesn't want to be stuck as a junior.
Yeah, and this is his stepping stone to heavyweight division too, right? This is his leading into, and we'll get a rematch. These two will face again in the G1, and maybe Kota Ibushi gets a win over him in the G1 to get that win back. But I think that. I'm with you on this one. Will Ospreay's got to walk into 2019 or walk. I mean, we're already in 2019, but he's got to walk out of the dome.
Yeah,
with that Never Openweight championship.
And he's on a high. He just won the Progress Tag title. Spoiler alert. So he's on a high. He's on a high. Come on.
And who knows, maybe he can defend it here in Australia in a thumb war or something against one of the Philippe
that's
brothers.
what Will was talking about with the Never title. He was saying, like, the Never title was built to go around to different territories and be defended and against heavyweights, against juniors. It doesn't matter. Like, it was a way to bring in people to New Japan, open more eyes. So, yeah. I think
and in that case, you want the title on a guy like Will Ospreay who travels everywhere, as opposed to Kota Ibushi, who notoriously hates to travel.
And could very likely be All Elite.
Potentially. So then moving down, so we both have Will Ospreay on this one.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, Kota's going to move on anyway. He's going to do some stuff with. I have Kota and Kenny headlining the Garden.
Okay.
Or if not headlining, being one of the marquee matches. So I'm not sure if Kenny retains the title here or not. I'm still on the fence, so we'll get to that. Suzuki-gun, that's Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado, the junior heavyweight tag team champions, taking on Roppongi 3K, Showa and LIJ, represented by Ibushi and Shingo Takagi. How do you think this one shakes out?
This is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a really fun match. Don't expect anything too flashy. I imagine it being not a short, like, it won't be like a 5-minute match or anything. I imagine only getting about 10, 15. I'm going to go with maybe LIJ picking up the titles here.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give both of their new boys the title tonight on this show. So I'm going to go with LIJ picking up the victory on this. If not, I feel Roppongi going to win. I don't think Yoshi and Despy are going to retain. But
yeah, I've seen a lot of people in their previews picking Roppongi for the reason that they think that Shingo is more destined for singles junior stardom. I think that Shingo takes a slower path. I think that, you put the titles on LIJ here, which helps. LIJ potentially could walk out of this show with every single member holding a title.
Yeah, exactly.
This is huge, and this can't be overlooked. So I think you have LIJ win the gold here, and I definitely think Bushi and Shingo win the gold here, and then we head towards the middle of the year when we get to Super Junior. When we get to Best of the Super Juniors, then we will see Shingo break out into singles and probably win Best of the Super Juniors to challenge Taiji Ishimori, who will still hold the title, I think. Yeah, that's how I see Shingo's path going, personally. And I really think that this Wrestle Kingdom, we're going to see LIJ walk out all kinds of strapped up.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, mate. The next match of the night, if the card is, I don't know if this card is exactly how we're going, but this is where I got my list from. So next up we got Tomohiro Ishii taking on Zack Sabre Jr. in the first ever singles match for the British Heavyweight Championship at Tokyo Dome on Wrestle Kingdom.
This is huge. I'm so excited for this. And you know how I feel about Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah. I think, for me as a fan of wrestling, I think this is going to be the match of the night. I have high expectations for this match.
Last year we got the Goto Suzuki match, the hair versus hair match, whatever it was. That was fantastic, the Never title. This is going to be the Goto Suzuki match from last year. It's going to be one of those matches that you're like breathing at the end of it going, how did not one of them die from one of the shots or one of the arm locks or something like and just I'm stoked that Rev Pro got their title defending on Wrestle Kingdom. Every year there's always like a Ring of Honor title, or back in the day they used to have a TNA title and all that. But to have the Rev Pro title, I think that really gives some legitimacy to the Rev Pro title. This for me makes it a world title. I know there's stupid rules about five countries or whatever. Sorry, if your title's being defended at Wrestle Kingdom on the Tokyo Dome, you're a fucking world championship. So this is officially a world title. I expect Zack Sabre to 100% walk out of the dome with a strap. As you know, he's got Mr. Park in 2 nights later. And I want to see Park versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the Rev Pro title.
For the title, yeah. I 100% agree with you. Zack Sabre Jr. walking out as the British hero, taking the title back to Britain. I think that it makes perfect sense. and I'm very excited to see how it goes down.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Christmas has come and gone, and with it, the disappointment of those Secret Santa staples, the shave kit, the sports hygiene packs, and seasonal socks is fading. As we roll on, though, into the new year, it's time to make resolutions. So why not resolve to look better in 2019 and get yourself the gift that keeps on giving and never disappoints, Threadbox. Threadbox is a subscription clothes shopping service which for as little as $40 per month will send you a box of personally curated goodies straight to your doorstep. I get the $160 package which comes with over $200 worth of fresh goodies each month. Kept me looking fly for all my Christmas engagements this year. You get to communicate with the Threadbox stylist assigned to you by email regarding what it is you need, and they will tailor the box accordingly. And in the unlikely event that you don't like what they send you, you send it back, they will replace it with something new and make note of the things you don't like so that they can avoid that kind of thing in the future. Threadbox is a truly unbelievable service that no man should be living without, so head over to threadbox.com.au today and use our code TheB+15 when you check out to get 15% off your first box. Then we get Gorillas of Destiny, that's Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, the champions. They're also the Never Openweight 6-man champions, but this is for the IWGP Tag Team titles. They're defending against LIJ team of Sonata and Evil and the Young Bucks. Now let's talk about it, because we didn't get to talk about it yet. The World Tag League was won clean by Evil and Sonata.
Yep. Rightfully so. They're the best tag team in New Japan. In my opinion, they're the best. Sorry, they're the best unit together. Tama and Tanga are great, but Evil and Sonata, they don't need any bullshit. They don't need, cheating or anything like that. They're just a simple.
I mean, look, Tama and Tonga have been one of the best teams in the world. Yeah. I'm just going to say, people like to hate on them, but I think that they are great at what they do. I think they are very good tag team wrestlers. I think Tama does have potential for singles, but he's never really had that standout match that says to me, this guy's a star. But as a tag team, they've had plenty of those matches, and I'm very excited. I love seeing them as a tag team. I love seeing them with the gold. But the Young Bucks, let's talk about it. We're fans of the Young Bucks here. Both of us are fans of the Young Bucks, and I love the Young Bucks so much. But the fact that they came in and just inserted themselves into this match. Now, I don't care that they didn't work the tag league. Everyone was upset that they didn't work the tag league. I don't care about that. I care about, like Geto could have gotten to this in a way that made sense if you had the Gorillas of Destiny. If you had the Gorillas of Destiny win, and then they're about to choose who is going to face them, and then out come the Young Bucks, and they were about to pick Evil and Sonata, but the Young Bucks come out, and then Gorillas of Destiny say, look, okay, we'll face both of you. We don't care. We're the best.
Yeah.
Right? That would have made sense, and I would not be angry, because that would have respected the tag league. But basically, the tag league became a huge waste of time because you watched 20 fucking shows of tag teams fighting over the right to get this shot, and then one team definitively gets the shot, and then another team are just like, yeah, but nah, we get paid a lot of money and we didn't have to be here. We're too good for this. So it just kind of shat all over the whole thing, and it really, really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, it's New Japan's version of WrestleMania silly season where Undertaker walks in and can challenge anyone because he's Undertaker. It's one of those things. I agree with you. It rubbed me the wrong way. I'm one of those people that rubbed me the wrong way that Young Bucks weren't in the tag league. I get why they didn't. That's fine. But the thing is, I'm going to stand by the fact that Evil and Sonata are walking out with the titles, and in doing so, beating the Young Bucks and Gorillas of Destiny really solidifies themselves as the number one tag team in Japan, in New Japan, and it really solidifies their dominance, because if you're going to have someone like Young Bucks just insert themselves, someone like Tama and Tanga, who have been very devastating in 2018, but Evil and Sonata, who have somewhat had a singles year this year, they've done some more singles stuff than tagging, for them to come back at the end of the year, reform as the proper Evil and Sonata, and win the tag league, win this, I think that solidifies them as the number one tag team. So I'm okay with the Young Bucks being involved because, you're crazy with your Wrestle Kingdom Wrestle Kingdom card doesn't have Young Bucks on it. You know, I wouldn't want to see them in the opening fucking pre-show match. So, you know,
No.
I get they have to be here. I don't like how it got to be, but for me, it makes Evil and Sonata's victory, which I still stand by, make it even stronger for them. So,
yeah, if they do it in a way that if the Young Bucks work relatively heel and the Guerrillas of Destiny work relatively heel, and they both attack LIJ a lot because they're like, look, we're just going to get them out of the way because we hate each other and we want to fight. If they do that kind of thing and have LIJ overcome and really establish, like, no, we're the best tag team, even if, like, regardless of all your bullshit, right? We won the tag league. We win the titles. It's what we do. We win matches, right? If that's how it goes, I'm okay with it, but I don't like the way they got there. I don't. I can't lie. I can't sugarcoat it. The Young Bucks disrespected the entire tag league and it's fucked. And the only way to get over that disrespect is for the winners of the tag league to still win this match. They have to win. LIJ have to win. And like I said, walk out. Then you've got LIJ as the junior tag. You've got LIJ as the IWGP tag. And then you have later in the night, Naito and Jericho. So I really think every member of LIJ walks out of this show with gold.
Yep, and I go one step further and say that one member of the Young Bucks has to take the pin.
Yeah, absolutely. Put him over on the way out of the territory. Yeah, that'd be good. And then we move on to, speaking of moving out of the territory, we don't know because there could be a relationship with New Japan. And if there is, then this is the match where I think we find out. Like, if Cody wins, then there's probably still going to be a relationship. Because I could see the IWGP US title being a key to All Elite Wrestling and defending that title on American shores. I can see that happening. So, Cody and Juice Robinson, IWGP US title match. Who do you have
Juice.
Here?
Juice, yeah. I think Cody puts over Juice.
Yeah, and I think Cody plays a dastardly prick heel, too.
Yeah, he will.
Like, all the way.
But Juice is getting a little bit... he's not a heel, but, you know, he's a dastardly heel when he wants to be on interviews. Any of these little backstage little segments after a match, he gets a little bit...
he's got some edge to him.
Yeah, but...
he's got some edge to him. He's got a foul mouth.
Oh, he does. I'm in love with Juice Robinson in the last couple of weeks. He's been... Through that tag league, he was so fun to watch. I'm going to stick with him because this is the first time out of this card. This is what I want to happen. Everything else is I feel is going to happen. I don't care if Ishii walks away with the title. I don't care if Grills does, but I want Juice to win this. I really do.
I want Juice to win it too, and I think that Cody putting him over is a good end to their little story that they've been telling. I think Cody needs to put Juice over for this to feel right, for it to feel satisfying. But I do think that if this All Elite Wrestling deal comes through, I think Cody's a master politician. And so I think that if this All Elite Wrestling deal is coming through, I think Cody walks out because I think that title will go over to America to get defended a whole lot more on TV. I hope that's not the case, or I hope that it happens with Juice Robinson holding it, right? Like after the match, maybe Cody shakes his hand and, you know, a little bit of a knowing nod. You know what I mean? Something like that, as opposed to Cody winning. I would really like to see Cody put Juice over clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then we move on to Kushida and Taiji Ishimori, which this one's interesting because we hear rumors that Kushida may be heading to Orlando to join the Performance Center class with, you know, our mate Jonah Rock allegedly, and a whole bunch of other people. Who else is signed? I'm losing track.
ACH is rumored. There's
ACH.
Yeah. But
these are all allegedly.
Well,
so,
we know Jonah has. Well, is it official? Announced? Whatever.
Well, no, it's not been announced at all. None of these have been announced. It's all allegedly. And Jonah has just been announced for the PWA show on January 12th.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting. But back to Kushida Taiji. Yeah, look, the rumors are rampant that Kushida is going to go WA. I don't blame Kushida to go.
So you got to think he's going to go out with a bang. He's going to put on a huge match.
Absolutely, he's the ace of the junior division. He's one of the greatest juniors of all time in any promotion in Japan. He's one of the best. He's one of the best wrestlers in Japan of all time. But yeah, look, I'm okay with Kushida joining the WA. The rest, I would strongly disagree with going over. Kushida's got a little bit more. I don't know, because he's teamed with guys like Shelley and Saban over the years, and he's been a bit of a Ring of Honor guy more than anything else. Kind of like, I feel he would actually make it in WWE. He'd be really fun in 205. Like, I'm not saying that that's his.
Yeah, No, I think that's where he's headed. I don't think he'll go to NXT at all. I think he'll skip NXT altogether. I think he'll go to 205 Live. Yeah. I mean, he'll probably spend some time in the Performance Center. I don't think he'll end up on NXT TV. I think our first taste of him on WWE TV will and should, because he doesn't fit the NXT brand to me. He fits 205 Live. He's flashy. He's, I don't know. I think he's going to be a lot of fun on 205 Live. I think he's going to take that to a new level. And it gives him. There was nothing else for him to do in New Japan anyway.
No, that's right. And that's if. I mean, he could even go with the All Elite guys. He could go over to. The rumors are he'd go to Orlando. He could go to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, look, this is my hope. I hope that he does go to 205 Live, and I hope that he makes some money, right? Does the WWE thing, makes some big money, and then goes back and becomes the new Jushin Liger.
Yeah.
Right? Where he's just he's gone off, he made some money overseas, and he comes back, he buys himself a nice house, and he's set for life. And he he can be the new Japan junior dad as he gets into his twilight years. That's my hope. But I think we'll both agree here that Taiji Ishimori wins.
Absolutely.
The title,
I was just about to say, let's talk about the other guy in this match, because as much as I love Kushida, I'm happy for him to go over. Taiji, on the other hand, he's the key for the junior division over the next 12 months. I think Taiji wins the title here, and I think he becomes one of the longest reigning junior champs in New Japan history. I don't see, other than someone like Shingo or Hiromu on return, I don't see anyone taking the title off him unless they bring in someone else from a Noah or Dragon Gate.
I see Hiromu returning, and I see Hiromu losing to Taiji, and then having a story of, do I still have it? Should I still be here? Kind of thing. I see that for Hiromu, and because I also see all the other LIJ people having titles, because I don't think Hiromu's too far off. His last things he was talking about being at 90%, right? So he's got to be close. Now, other than that, I think, you're right. Shingo is the other one, and I think that's next year's Kingdom match, is Shingo versus Taiji.
I mean, you're a bit more of a Puro guy. You've learned a bit more Puro through the other guys. I know a little bit. Do you feel that New Japan might continue this and maybe start plucking some other talent from, I know it's...
Yeah, don't let the Purocast guys hear you say that, because they'll lose their shit.
I know, but their pure Japanese ranks are starting to... I mean, they got a lot of good young lions that are a fair while away from being ready. But do you see them maybe plucking one or two that might have their contracts ending in Noah or Dragon Gate, or... I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough, and there's a lot of loyalty issues and stuff. Someone I would like to see come over is Aita.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of Aita in Dragon Gate, and I'm a big fan. But I don't know. But to be real with you, I think that it's going to be what it is for a while, and I think Taiji, Hiromu, and Shingo are going to be the main names that you see there. Or potentially, I mean, we don't know what's happening with Marty Skrull's contract situation. Marty could still be a key player in that junior division if he doesn't make heavyweight. But Taiji Ishimori walking out with gold is part of another strapped up faction that I think that, I mean, of course, I do have Bullet Club losing in the tag team championship match, but they are still 6-man tag team champions. Let's not forget that. So I think Bullet Club walk out of this looking pretty good as well. I think Bullet Club and LIJ is going to become a big story in the future.
Yeah, I can see that. Taiji definitely wins this. Then we move on to speaking of Bullet Club. Probably one of the longest stories for the year, other than maybe Jericho Nato. Okada White. Okada, no title match for Okada at Kingdom. This feels very strange, but it feels very strange to say Okada versus somebody and not have a title match connected to it somehow. But this storyline is probably bigger than a lot of the title matches. So
Yeah, and look, I saw something today, and I talked about it on the All Elite podcast. I just got to put this out there. Bully Ray, right? This motherfucker on one of his podcasts that he did today, he mentioned that his story in Ring of Honor, right? This is still King of Sports, so it's relevant. His story in Ring of Honor with Flip Gordon. He was like, "Look at that story, man! Like, look how many people benefited from it. No one benefited from it, Bully. It was a stupid story." And he's like, "It went for 8 months. When do you see stories go for 8 months in wrestling anymore?" This story, this Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White story, has been built up for years.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Yeah.
Right? And I touched on before Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi that I think they're going to have at the Garden, whether it's for the title or not. I think it's going to be one of the Garden matches. And that's been going for 10 years, the Golden Lovers.
Exactly.
And Kenny's like, and Bully Ray's like, when was the last time you saw a story go for 8 months? Stories on being the elite go for 8 months. Well, like, come on, buddy. Like, just close your mouth. At this point.
Stable stories in Japan, like Chaos is a 10-year story. Like, it's it's still going. Like,
it's almost like he doesn't watch anything but his own stuff.
He's become an angry old vet. Anyway, back to these two young...
Maybe he's working it. Maybe that's the point. Maybe he's working me and I don't even know it. Maybe he's just such a great heel that he's working me and I don't even know it. But this match, though, the point I was getting at is it's been built for so long. Since Jay White first joined, you know, he said to Okada, "I'm coming for your spot."
Yeah. Exactly.
And the moment has come. He's coming for the spot. And I think it's going to be controversial. I think he wins.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying Jay White wins for sure. Jay White, 2019 is the year of Jay White. Jay White will be IWGP heavyweight champion by the end of the year. 100%.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I talked about Tama not having any of those, as a singles competitor, not having any of those matches that really stands out as a match that made you. This match, you're a star. This is the match for Jay White. This is where Jay White, he either delivers here, and I'm not talking about the win. Like, obviously, whether he's booked to win or not, that's not up to him. But in terms of the match performance, right? It's a dome match against Okada. If this match does not hit that high 4.5, 4.25, 4.5 up towards 5, if this doesn't hit that scale, then he's probably never going to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
This is his proving moment. This is his big moment. I think he wins. I think Okada puts him over clean. Okada will probably get a win back in the G1, right? But I think this is time. It's got, and I think it has to be a clean win. I think that there will be some sort of shenanigans, but I don't think that'll play into the finish.
I think there will be a couple of little shenanigans, maybe with Gato, sort of Gato's history with Okada. New Japan have done a few little YouTube videos on the history of Tanahashi and Gato, and that's Okada and Gato. So, they're probably prepping everyone for something. I imagine Jay White starts to shine very bright in the Tokyo Dome. I don't know, a lot of people, he can rub people a lot of the wrong way because he's not a Kenny Omega or a one of those guys that's going to light up the ring and do that. But I think Jay White is one of the best storytellers in the entire industry. I think he's one of the best storytellers. And I can't wait for this. This is going to be a match of the night. Oh, sorry, not match of the night. I was going to say not match of the night. It's going to be the story. Like,
do we think that we find out who this Chaos Mole is? Do we think that comes into play here?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Potentially. I don't know if it does, but I think that that's another potentiality that could show up. And my money's still on, I guess Chucky T's been playing up, but my money was still on Beretta, I would say. But the big shock would be if it was Goto, right?
Right, because Goto is one of Okada's boys, so.
Yeah, so that would be the real painful one if it was Goto. And, Goto being on the pre-show, maybe getting sick of Chucky T's blow-ups and that costing them. If that costs him and Beretta the match in the pre-show, you could see some extra motivation for Goto to do this. I don't know. There's a lot of ways it could go. But moving on, we still got 2 matches to talk about. Chris Jericho, Tetsuya Naito. Now, you can say what you will about Jericho's builds being stale. He does the same thing. He attacks in a hood and takes off the hood and reveals himself wearing shitty face paint. And I love that Tetsuya Naito made fun of his face paint. Did you see that? Did you see that video?
He's such a smart ass, Naito. But
He's like, what is this? It looks so bad. I know it looks bad when I do it too, but I did it to prove how bad it looks. You can do better than this. Aren't you a millionaire?
He's a cheeky bastard, that NATO. But I'm happy with the way that they've used Jericho in New Japan.
I was saying to someone earlier that Jericho is essentially, that dad on the block when you were growing up. He's that dad on the block who was so lame. He tried so hard to be cool, right? Like, I'm going to buy the kids quads and take them out to ride quads and all that sort of stuff. And he always tried to be part of the gang. Like, I'm not his dad. I'm just one of the boys, right? He's that dad. But, you hung around because you got to ride quads and he cooked a mean barbecue, right? Jericho is that dad. Like, he's trying so hard to be cool. With the elite and all the things he's doing, the cruise. Like, Jericho cruises aren't cool. Like, okay, the Jericho cruise looks badass and I'd love to be on it. But I know, in general, I mean, Bill Burr does a whole comedy bit about how you could kill people who go on cruises and it'd be okay. Like, no one would notice.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go on a cruise. That'll be a good idea for a holiday. No, it's not really. You're floating. There's nothing interesting. But, he's trying so hard to be cool. But at the end of the day, what matters to me is the bell to bell here. And Jericho has been putting on, some of the best work in his career.
Oh, absolutely. Like, he's a guy that's, the same age as a couple of the guys that headlined down at Melbourne a couple of months ago. And he doesn't look like he's lost much pace at all. But this is the way you use a guy with star power. Like,
well, yeah, he's popped the ratings. Subscribers have gone up. Like, New Japan at the moment, like we were talking about, this Wrestle Kingdom is the fastest selling tickets for Wrestle Kingdom of all time.
It's fantastic. But speaking of this match, though, 100% I'm going NATO walking out with the IC title.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, LIJ, all strapped up. Naito wins. Joins them. They're all going to have gold leaving Wrestle Kingdom, which is going to be a great visual for them. It's going to look fantastic, especially because, I mean, we were talking about it just a couple months ago. What's the direction for LIJ? There'd been no direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I kind of expect Jericho to go back to WWE after this, actually. They
possibly as soon as the Rumble.
Because they're going to need a little bit of star power heading into Mania with all the injuries they have. Yeah. And I think Jericho would be the first to take McMahon's call and say, hey, look, I've done my thing for a year, I'll come back for Mania season.
I think Jericho is someone we're going to be talking about. Like, I mean, look, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer in every company that he's been in, first off. But we can do an entire podcast talking about Jericho and not just Jericho's history, but Jericho now, right? Like, potentially, like you said, he'll probably show up in the Rumble. He'll probably work towards Mania. Then he'll probably leave. Then he'll probably show up in All Elite Wrestling, right? He's everywhere, this guy. And like I said, he is a bit, at this point, he is a bit like the dad that tries too hard to be cool, but you still love him.
Yeah, the cruise, the cruise too has been talked about.
Right. No, it's announced. There's definitely a second cruise. I can't remember what the dates were for that. Yeah. I can't remember what the dates were, but Naito walks out with the gold. This should be, I mean, I think Naito is another one that I think he will get his moment at the Dome next year for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
January is here and we are fast approaching WrestleMania season. Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania are around the corner, so the time to dilly-dally is past us. If you want to experience WrestleMania live, and who doesn't, let's be honest, you deserve it. The best and really the only way to do it is with All Aussie Travelers. All Aussie Travelers are new to the wrestling travel package game, but they are veterans at travel, and they have put together a package that cannot be beaten. For less than $7,500, All Aussie Travelers are going to send you to New York, New York, with return flights, airport transfers, full accommodation, and tickets to the WWE Hall of Fame, NXT pre-show party, NXT TakeOver, WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and more. The The coolest part about these packages is that for NXT TakeOver, Raw, and SmackDown, you are going to be seated in your own private VIP suite, normally not available to the public, but all Aussie Travelers have you covered, man. They got this locked down. It has its own bar, it has its own bathroom access, and all the luxuries that a VIP box comes with, not least of which, of course, an incredible view for everything happening in the ring. All of this for under $7,500. They're practically giving these packages away, man. You'd be crazy not to check it out. So head over to All Aussie Travelers on Facebook. The link is in the show notes. And tell them that the B Plus sent you. And let's go watch WrestleMania in style. Let's get to that. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The main event of the evening. Kenny Omega defends the title against Hiroshi Tanahashi.
What a feud this has been the last couple of months.
This is a contentious one. Some people think it has not been.
I love it. I love the bitterness between both of them about where they both stand and what their legacies mean to the company. Tanahashi is old school. He believes that guys like him, Naito, Okada, Shinsuke put the company on their back. They're the reason why New Japan came back into this new era. You got Kenny and the Elite who, as good as Tanahashi and Okada and Shinsuke have been, can't deny that Kenny and the Bucks and all that have put so many more eyes on the company in the last 12 months, 16 months. That's right, 12 to 18 months. Both of them have their reasons for why they should be at the top of the card and all this. I love it because both of them are right and both of them are wrong, because you can't be salty at Kenny for taking advantage of this period, and you also can't be that grumpy old vet like Tanahashi and saying that, and being like the pure ogre boys and getting your butt hurt that it's a little bit too much westernized in New Japan. But both of them are right. This is going to be a fantastic match. I am going.
That's it. That's the thing. Both of them are right. We'll get to the predictions in a second, but both of them are right. Like when you look at it and you think who's the heel, who's the face, they're both the heel in the mind of the other guy, and they're both the face in their own mind. And it's such an effective shade of grey. I was talking about this on the All Elite podcast with Mr. Mysterious. It's such an effective shade of grey, which, WWE do the whole, there are no heels and faces. You just cheer who you want to cheer. But it's just a cop-out for bad writing when WWE say it. When it happens in New Japan, it's actually because it's genuinely a well-written shade of grey. Here's Kenny Omega. He wants to change the world. He thinks he's changing it for the better. Therefore, good guy. Person wants to stop him from changing the world. Therefore, bad guy.
Yeah.
Here's Hiroshi Tanahashi. Thinks we dragged this company out of the dark ages. Thinks we are the heroes of this company. This guy wants to change the world. Change can be bad. We need to make sure we aren't rushing into this. I need to slow this kid down. Good guy. Bad guy. And the fans can legitimately choose who they want to cheer. It's like having an old school, there's no right or wrong. It's like, I don't know 2 sports teams in Australia, but it's like the Packers and the Bears, or the Packers and the Vikings. You're not right in that situation. It's just the team you prefer.
Right. Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love it. I think it's great. It's a really well-written shade of grey. Now, I think that the match actually ends in far less shade of grey. So, have you seen Kenny Omega's video clip that he released on the Being the Elite channel today?
Yes, I did. The one with the video game. Yeah,
the video game one.
Yeah,
so
that's so good.
Kenny's Quest, and there's this kid buys this game, Kenny's Quest, and then it's Kenny and Tanahashi, and the video basically becomes a conversation. And at the beginning of the video, he said he initially wanted this to air, probably as part of his entrance, I'm guessing, but New Japan knocked it back, and they're not going to show it, so he decided to just air it on Being the Elite, which is really cool that wrestlers have the freedom to do this kind of thing now. But I think that they didn't want to air it because it gives too much away. I mean, Tanahashi being like he's got the president in his pocket or whatever, all that sort of stuff. Tanahashi in this video is a real heel because that's how Kenny Omega sees him. It's very interesting to me, but I think that there was a little bit of foreshadowing at the end of that video. I think we're actually going to get a Hiroshi Tanahashi heel turn.
Well, he's been teasing a bit of a forming a group and stuff. So, like, maybe.
Yeah. And we were excited about that group. I don't think that group is happening. I think that Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to join the Bullet Club.
Oh, I was thinking Tanahashi is Chaos. I think Tanahashi more of a Chaos guy, but yeah, I don't know.
Think about it. Think about it. Jay White beats Kazuchika Okada, and then Tanahashi joins the Bullet Club. It's a big night for LIJ. It's a big night for the Bullet Club. And then eventually we will get Naito toppling Tanahashi at next year's Kingdom. I think that he has 2 more domes left in him. I think there is big Swan Song Dome shows. And I think it's like, you think about WrestleMania X7. Steve Austin turned heel and joined Vince McMahon. What? What is happening? You think about NWO, Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
The big face turning heel, no one expects that. Now, New Japan are in a spot right now where they can afford to take a risk like this, and I think it happens. I think Hiroshi Tanahashi turns his back on the company that he loves. I think he joins the Bullet Club, and I think he will make a fantastic heel champion. I think it'll be the best work of his career. I'm going out there on a limb and saying that.
Yeah. If it happened, yeah, obviously it would be one of the best things for his career and like one of the best things that he's done. I can see it because I forgot to mention it when we were talking about the Okada Jay White and potential person inside Chaos for the Bullet Club. I've actually thought of someone else since that, and I feel it's going to be Ospreay. Because I feel Ospreay suits the Bullet Club sort of outsider, sort of where they're going. And Wheels.
Right. I think at that stage, Bullet Club's getting too stacked. But I mean, but here I am putting Hiroshi Tanahashi in Bullet Club. But I think as well, they've been foreshadowing this. I mean, if you look at the things that Hiroshi Tanahashi is saying about Kenny Omega, they're very similar to the things that Tama Tonga says about Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Right? He's lying. He's using like Meltzer and all the media and stuff, and he's lying. He's a snake in the grass, and he wants to change the world, but it's all bullshit. He just wants to line his pockets, etc., etc. Like look at the things that Tama Tonga says on Twitter about the Elite, and then look at the things Hiroshi Tanahashi says in these interviews about Kenny Omega. Tell me that Hiroshi and Tama wouldn't get along.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of this, man. And it only really hit me as we were running down this card, because coming into it, I'm like, I'm not sure who I think is going to win. I really feel like Kenny should win and should maintain that and headline the Garden and all that sort of stuff. I feel like Kenny should win, but as we're going through the card, and I'm like, no, I really think LIJ walk out strapped up, and I really think Bullet Club walk out strapped up. But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, Bullet Club can't really walk out strapped up because Jay White doesn't have a title match, but Hiroshi Tanahashi does. And that's what I think happens. Controversial, I know, but that's my prediction. Who do you think wins?
Tanahashi wins. Because I just don't know. Actually, no, I'm going to change my opinion. I'm going to go with Kenny winning because his contract doesn't end to the end of January, right? So I can see him dropping the title the night before he leaves, which would be roughly the New Beginning. And who did Kenny Omega lose to at New Beginning last year to lose one title? Jay White. I could see Jay White picking up the title from Okada from Omega on his way out at the New Beginning.
Oh, wow. That's a big call. I thought my prediction was out of left field.
You think about it, because Jay beat him for the the US at New Beginning last year. Could he beat him on the way up for the main title? Interesting. Well, actually, I'm going to say with Kenny giving the title. But there's going to be shenanigans between the 3 main event matches. So I'm calling it a triple main event. People can call it what they want. Between the triple main event, there's going to be shenanigans. And there's going to be a change in the wind.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will be upset by that too.
Because Wrestle Kingdom is not the place to tell stories; it's the place to tell wrestling matches. So it's a place to tell stories in ring, not out ring. But that's what the night after is.
But that's Wrestle Kingdom. I guess like we've gone a lot longer than we thought we would, and it's happening in 2 days. Get excited, people. I'm going to be live tweeting. We're going to be talking about this live in the Discord, which you can now become a member of our private Discord where we talk all things wrestling just by joining our Patreon. Discord is available from $3 per month, and you have direct access to us when we're talking live, talking all kinds of crap that we talk when we talk about wrestling. So you can check us out on Patreon, is what I'm saying. We now have a Patreon.
Yes, we do. And that's awesome. I'll be at the, I don't know what the official name of it is. It's nicknamed the Cheers Bar in Sydney. PWA have thrown a Wrestle Kingdom event viewing party in the city, so I'll be attending that.
So anyone else who's going can come say hi?
Yeah, absolutely. Myself and Danders will be there representing the B+ for sure.
Will you be rocking the B+ polo,
Always.
as I know you do?
Actually, I would like to wear my Chaos shirt. Sorry, mate. But probably...
That's fine. Look for the guy in the Chaos
or
shirt.
B+. Either one. But no, it'd be interesting. This is my WrestleMania. This is my Christmas Day. Other than the Super Bowl, not many things get me this excited. So, super keen.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And so like I said, if you're heading to the PWA show, make sure you go say hi to Mikey. And if not, join us in the Discord, join us on Patreon. And, we're going to be producing bonus content for everyone. So Mikey's been bugging me for ages about just having a show where he can talk into the microphone on his own for half an hour about whatever strikes his fancy that week. And we've got a bunch of bonus things planned. So lots of bonus episodes coming your way if you join up on the Patreon, which is at patreon.com/theb+. Where can people find you, Mikey?
At bigboy_Mikey86 on both Instagram and Twitter.
I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit the B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. And thank you so much for listening.
Hold one! Arm drag!
You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list!
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy!
Goodbye and good night.
Hold two! Arm bar!
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy! Hold three! The moss covered! Three-handle family conundrum!